Afraid of breaking a fast and have a rebound? Come and join me. I'll tell you everything about it. Time to buy some groceries. Well, the time has come to buy some groceries. So let's see what we have here. I have a very specific set of nutrients I have to eat today. So let's start. We're going to start with some celery. We need a bunch because in the next 5 days we're going to use it a lot. Now we are going to need carrots. Let's see which size. Now let's go for this one. We need it from some broth after day 4, and we need uh, also carrots for some juices. We need some cucumbers as well. While shopping, I found this one. I kind of like this. I'm going to take this one. Now we need apples, so I'm going to go for the green apples rather than the red ones. I'm going to need some butternut squash. I've never tried these ones. I'm very puzzled how this tastes. On day 3, I need to eat some papaya. So I'm going to buy it right now so I can make it. Also, we need some papaya. And day 3, I need to eat papaya. And oh, I'm just craving day 3. Look how beautiful this is. We need also to buy some lemons, some beets as well, some zucchini. Also, we need some romaine lettuce. We're going to need some sweet potato. It's going to take a while to start touching this part of the grocery store. Proteins. Right now, that's going to take real time to do that. And the reason is our digestive system is not really prepared to digest all of this, and we need to and we need to tell our body the signal of we need to start making the cells be more active on its insulin production. And that's why the first 5 days of Dr. Goldhamer, it really focuses on fruits, juices, vegetables. Wow, I'm here in this aisle, well, in this section with all the fruits and vegetables. Honestly, I want to eat everything. It looks so good. When we do the protein cycling, we're going to visit this aisle to complement our protein, and we're going to go probably for plant-based protein. I've, I've done for years the wheat protein, which is derived from the cheese. And nope, we're not going to go there. Now, what I'm looking for right now is aloe vera water, and what I'm still looking for it. Ah, found it. So it's interesting that it's in the probiotics aisle. But this is what we're looking for. Okay, this is the one that we want for. This is the pure aloe vera water. These are all the groceries we need for the next 4 days. That's everything. And for the first 4 days, because on day 5, we're going to start introducing uh, plant based fats like avocados. Done shopping, and it was almost $100 for a few vegetables. But that's a gift I want to give to my body. And how many times we spend more than that in a couple of going out to a bar, buying hamburgers? I'm done grocery shopping, and for groceries, you're going to notice something when you start Dr. Goldhamer's discipline of eating. His school of thought is called the SOS diet, and it's not like the SOS for the emergency. It's called salt, oil, and sugar, which is what you need to avoid at all cost. Yes, oil. It's included. I just spent again almost $100 on a few vegetables, but when I carried those bags at the grocery store, oh my god, they were heavy. I had to use my both hands. And this is what Dr. Goldhamer says as nutrition density. I don't think the amount of calories in all those bags were more than probably 5,000 calories. And they were very heavy. And how many times you go to the grocery store and buy chips, crackers, cereal, and you fill 10 bags, and when you go home, you can take all of those bags with one single hand. Not only that, probably the amount of calories in those bags are hundreds of thousands of calories. So that's what nutrition density means. When you eat SOS diet or plant-based diet, you are going to force yourself to finish every single dish. You know, it's like a whole bowl of things, and how in the world I'm going to eat all of these just for lunch? And you have to get used to it, and that's precisely the trick on having your lifestyle on nutrition dense food calorie ratio. So when you have not too many calories in grocery stores and they're very heavy, that's what smart shopping it is. If you ask me, how can I prepare for my fast, or how can I prepare for my health journey? Let me answer that one with a story. Since I was very young, I felt I was fat, even though I was thin as a pencil. I canceled countless pool parties when I was a kid. And as soon as 2 years ago, a friend of mine invited me twice for water skiing, and I didn't want to be shirtless and show my body. Those invitations stopped. I live in anger, shame, desperation, and then I just turned back, and it already passed 4 decades of anger, shame, desperation, and sickness. So back to the question, how do I prepare for a fast? Start from forgiveness. Understand that you have done everything at your disposal. You're not weak or the lack of willpower or any other of those adjectives that I'm pretty sure you and I know exactly which of the adjectives they are. And the problem is that when you surrender, you get into a downward spiral of bad decisions, sickness, you amplify your desperation, your anger to yourself, your shame. And why you're getting into downward spiral? Because you cannot control where you're going, or at least what you think. There's a classic effect of my sisters and brothers in arms, which are undergoing this health journey, which is some people that start having a transformation in health. Internally, they still think they are fat or skinny or sick from the inside, even though from the outside they look great. And that's why it's so important to prepare in those internal fields first. I would say that will be one of the utmost importance, to start from the emotional and psychological aspect before this process. The way you know you're ready, the way you know that you're ready for, let's say, start a fast or this program of eating healthy and reading books and take the step to moving forward, is when you stop living in fear, shame, and anger to yourself. And then you enter in a phase of brutal vulnerability. I spent many years, which is part of my backbone of my journey, as Tibetan Buddhist. I actually was a member of a certified school of Buddhism from the Dalai Lama. I was very fortunate to have that school available for me. And my geshe, which is the entity, or is the person, or the monk, or the speciality, which is equivalent like a PhD person outside of Buddhism, is not the Lama, it's a geshe, told me a very interesting story, and it's this. He told me, Gerardo, do you know what's the most invincible person? The person that just surrender his or her ego. And he told me this story. Imagine that you're very fat, and then someone tells you, hey, Gerardo, you're very fat. And you say, no, look, I feel great, I look great. And you start to hide, and that person is not powerful. It's not invincible. On the contrary, it's very weak, because that person hides in layers of the oil making. And he told me, imagine that person, and then that the person that is attacking has a lot of weapons now in their tool belt, because that person is afraid of the way that person looks. So every time I want to make this person feel bad, I'm going to say, you look bad, see? Or, hey, that shirt doesn't fit for you today. And you're like, oh my God, I feel so bad. What happens? So then that person, the person that is attacking, has a lot of weapons. And that person can be live, not a single person. Now imagine an invincible person from my Geshe perspective, where he says, imagine this same person or circumstance or life or group of people They say, Gerardo, you're very fat. And you're like, yeah, I'm very fat. I know. But I'm eating healthy. But yeah, I know. So the person is attacking like, oh, is just totally disarmed. But when you say, yes, I know, I'm fat, it's not like you're faking it because that person is going to know that. You're truly vulnerable to yourself because you're surrendering, saying, I know I've done everything in my power. I know I'm fat, but I accept myself. But also I accept the challenge, but I accept it. So when you say, yeah, I'm fat, I know. And then the other person is, hey, but I don't like your eyes. Or, hey, you see your feet? That's kind of weird. I said, wow, that's fun. I haven't thought about that. You know what? That's actually very weird. And the person is, oh my God, how can I keep attacking this person? You disarm it. So my gesture told me that's exactly the invisible man. A person that surrenders and opens. That's exactly what I mean when you're ready for fasting. When you surrender, and then you're going to be surprised in the following videos, in the book that I'm writing, that I am actually opening not only to friends or a pool party, but to the world. With photos that people would say, Gerardo, how are you sharing those photos? You're so fat. And yes, I was fat. I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm starting my journey. And actually it has last 4 years now, almost 5. And it's going to take me probably a decade more. But this is my gain. This is my victory. These are my medals every single day. And I love it. So you're going to see and hear vulnerable stories, my struggles, my victories, but it's not faked. It's the process of preparing myself after certain traumatic events that I had for the last probably 15 years. We're now saying enough. I'm saying I'm taking the charge and this is the moment. So in preparation for our refeeding, these are going to be your new best friends. The kitchen is going to be your temple. It's going to be the source of youth. It's going to be your new doctor. This is the origin. This is the origin that is going to allow you to live hopefully longer, to spend quality time with your loved ones. Treat it with respect, with order. Try to put it neat because now it's going to be the origin of your health. Christmas? What do you want for Christmas, Gerardo? Let me see. How about a gift card for Whole Foods? Or how about a new knife set or a new salad bowl or a juicer? Or how about a basket of vegetables and fruits? Dr. Alan Goldhamer, just as Carl Sagan, they were not only one of the brightest scientists in their field, they were also great communicators. And we have the advantage of that because people like that, I respect it so much. Because they're not just super smart and they publish these amazing papers, but they have the time and care and just all soul spirits that they want to share with Main Street. Not only for the scientists in a lab. They open it so we can just use it. So let's use it. Dr. Goldhamer, in his book, The Health Promoting Cookbook, in the first set of chapters, he explained the amazing benefits of food in your health. So try to read it. If you don't have time to read it, do what I do sometimes because I'm very busy. Just buy the audiobook and put it while you're driving. But that book is the paramount. You start from there. If you ask me, hey, Gerardo, I just want to start somewhere, start with that book. Now, in the book Bravo, which is written by Ramses Bravo and Dr. Goldhamer, where Dr. Goldhamer is the director and founder, that's the clinic where Dr. Goldhamer has cured more than 15,000 patients. They published this book where in the first chapter, which is chapter 1 introduction, I think it's the introduction, if not the following one, they teach you how to cook rice, how to make a broth, because in this new way of living, I'm saying the SOS diet, you don't have to fry anything or broil or anything like that. You're just going to have salads, you're going to make broths, you're going to steam, you're going to dehydrate. So forget about scrapping dishes and all of that. So actually, that's pretty cool. But also teach you how to, for instance, cook with water rather than oil. And in this in this book, they teach you how to do all of that. You need to learn how to shift the way you cook because we're used to all of this. For instance, for me, it's amazed that some people do, like for instance, they make white rice and then they put oil and then they say, "Oh, just put the rice there," and it was totally unneeded. It's not like it's going unless it's like a deep fried rice, which is actually very bad by itself. There is not really effect on that oil with this wet cold rice. So these guys are teaching you how to cook properly. On top of that, on that same chapter, they talk about utensils, which is why we're talking about this. So let's talk a little bit about what we have here, which is going to be what you're going to need for the first week of refeeding. So first, this is going to be your new grill. This is going to be the new center of your kitchen, a bowl for salads. Then you're going to try to invest in a good set of knives because you're going to face now cutting irregular slippery shapes like a tomato or a lemon or a lime, a watermelon. Oh my God, like a huge thing, which is very prone to slip your knife everywhere. It's very slippery and very hard to cut. So that's why you're going to be facing a lot of irregular surfaces. So don't cut yourself. Just try to invest in something nice. Remember, that's the Christmas gift. And very important, a juicer. So try to do a cold press juicer. And the reason of that is the following. If you think they're a little expensive, because they are, this is why you want to invest on that. If you use the using a centrifugal juicer, the main benefit of a juice is not sugar, it's not the glucose, which is the only thing you have when you have a centrifugal juicer, and a little bit of the fiber. But the macronutrients, which is the whole reason why you're using, those are the enzymes, and the enzymes die in the process of heat and oxidation because water and oxygen. That's why you have to always drink the juice as soon as you're done. As soon as you pour your juice, take it because it's oxidizing immediately. But when you do the cold press, you are preserving those enzymes. Again, that's the whole reason you are using. Now, word of caution, don't use like crazy. Don't follow those diets or fast, like use fasting and use like crazy. Cases of people that have very, very sick because they're just use. And one of the reasons is because you are going to increase your spikes of insulin. I don't know if this is going to be the video because I filmed this morning when I was going to my grocery store. But what happens is that Dr. Goldhamer and a little bit of Dr. Funk, but I'm going to cover it in that video because very, very important and long. But if you go towards Dr. Goldhamer, he is not afraid of the spikes of insulin, which is the other school of thought from Dr. Young and pretty much everybody else. Dr. Goldhamer establishes, and again by 15,000 patients and medical papers in journals, so I trust him. He said, don't be afraid of eating 3 times a day. Don't snack, but it's okay. Because what he's doing is he's healing your insulin sensitivity, which is exactly the contrary of insulin resistance, which is a snowball that starts everything. So that's why he uses a lot, at least in the first phase. It's actually 2 phases of breaking a fast, because Dr. Goldhamer establishes 5 specific steps in a very specific protocol how to break a fast, which is what we're following this week. So the juices, you're going to see that are in majority leaves and vegetables, not fruits. Because if you realize that your cells are the receptors of your signals, and you signal a lot of insulin, meaning you're using like crazy fruit, fruit. And if you heal yourself in 21 days, 14 days, 3 days of insulin resistance, and now you're more sensitive, you're going to get back to the problem. Because this is something important. Right now, we're living kind of in the best medical era so far of understanding how aging happens in our diet. And now I'm referring to Dr. Walter Longo, which is the expert and the lead in the world for 30 years on why we age. That's why when I say in the website or in my channel, let's reverse age or rejuvenate, I'm talking about the discipline of Dr. Longo, because again, he's not trying to heal sickness. He just tried to make you younger longer, and it's an amazing school of thought. So when Dr. Young, which is a nephrologist, he said, when you try to cure diabetes, everybody used to say it's incurable, but it's treatable, but still you're going to live a very bad lifestyle and lifespan. Happens that diabetes is actually reversible, or you're pre-diabetic, or your A1C numbers are very bad. And Dr. Goldhamer demonstrates that he totally cured people from diabetes. They're totally out of insulin and any medicine, on top of many other diseases like hypertension, which is another one that modern medicine said is incurable. No, he totally cured that. Actually, you're going to see probably in this video my stats of my blood pressure. I believe I was, I don't know, probably 9 years old, probably when I had those numbers. But there's a problem, there is a limit. We're still trying to understand the science of how our body can actually rejuvenate. And so far, what they have discovered is that you can be in remission of diabetes, where you don't need anything, medicine. You can eat now your vegetables, blah, blah, blah. But it can return if you're not careful. That's why it's so important to break the fast, very, very technically accurate, because my cells right now are in a shock after 21 days. They are cured, but they are saying, okay, what's going to be the signal, Gerardo? Tell me how I'm going to be again, because after the 14 days of fasting, your stem cells pretty much have recovered most of the bad or old and zombie and precancerous cells, but they haven't gotten the signal yet of where to go yet. That's why it's so critical to break the fast. Very, very good. So if I start having a lot of uses of sugary fruits, the signal is going to be, okay, so then I'm going to have a shower every day of insulin. And what happens? Boom, again, they become insulin resistant. Because they say, I can't recover you from the diabetes, but it's not truly fully healable. You can be in remission for the rest of your life without any medicine. You're going to be just fine. But you just have to keep eating healthy. So that's why I truly suggest you, when you buy this juicer, well, any juicer, don't use like crazy. And please don't follow those juice fasting diets. Go to a scientist, go to a clinic, go to a functional medical doctor. And in my case, I'm following years of reading these guys' papers. I actually like to read a lot of their medical journals and videos on their lectures. Don't try to do kind of reels or very short videos or interviews. What I heard about is when there's a very nice scientist and then they get interviewed. The guy who is interviewing, they just want hits for their YouTube channel. So they want to ask kind of a clickbait questions, and so they can put in the shorts. And if you notice those videos kind of a shortcut a little bit the messages, when they start to get into very deep conversation, boom, they ask another question. So it's very incomplete. Try to go, if you like videos, try to go for lectures, complete lectures or conferences rather than kind of interviews. Okay, the time has come. Having food again. This morning, I'm going to share in the video my spreadsheet of the exact protocol for today. It's almost like every 2 or 3 hours exactly something. But now, time to eat. This morning again was just water. So why the candles and everything? Because it's a celebration. You have to celebrate every single milestone. And I don't know if I told you that I spent many years as a Buddhist, and I love all of these things. And my girlfriend always tells me, Gerardo, stop with the candles. You have candles in all your house, which actually I do. But this is the way I celebrate to myself. You have to celebrate the small victories. So we're going to make 4 ounces, liquid ounces of juice. And it's going to be, we're going to take organic. We're going to have just a diluted, um, also organic. Try not to do anything that you cannot actually eat. This is just pretty much vinegar and a little bit of alcohol. I always disinfect my vegetables. So I don't know if you actually see me or just hear the water. I need to be better at my editing and video taking, but hopefully you can. So this is my cucumber. I have here purified water with added minerals. Avoid the distilled water. You need your electrolytes. So we're going to actually use this, and you guys have no idea how much I have been looking forward for this. Remember, very slippery surfaces within your diet. So having a good sharp knife is going to help you not to do accidents. And also, I like I love to cook, and try to look videos of how to handle knives. My kids sometimes have some videos where he takes like an apple or something and he starts to cut like things in the hand. Like I'm like, no. So it's a good thing to try to educate also the kids how to handle the knives. So let's get started. This auger, again, is cold press. It's going to be very little juice. That's okay. And this juice is something that I bought specifically for breaking my fast. And I just realized that I put the containers backwards. This is where the pulp container goes, and this is where the other thing goes. So, oh well. Well, learning. Okay. So now, with my ground container, isn't that anti-intuitive? Oh well. Let's pour this here. Oh my god! You have no idea, guys, how great this smells. Now, this is where I'll start to say how to break a fast. You're not going to chug it because this is the first time my body is going to have nutrients. And let's see if I can do this real quick. No, well, I'm going to put that in the video, but there is a specific set of minerals and nutrients that Dr. Goldhamer said that has to be your first encounter with food, and I'm going to put that in the illustration. But this is a precise protocol, and cucumber has a specific set of nutrients that we need. So, without further ado, 21 days. Some of those 5 days were dry fasting, so which means you cannot wash your teeth, you cannot have a shower, and you have no idea. I felt like at the desert in Sahara. Oh, I feel everything. Even the taste, I can distinguish the taste between the skin and the pulp. I felt like a dry sponge that is filling with nutrients, like doesn't actually crack. You know those sponges that if you do like this, it cracks to the middle. I don't need these 4 ounces. Probably it's far more than 4 ounces, but I don't care. I'll drink this in the span of 3 hours. So. Okay, guys. Well, this is for the first drink. In a few hours, I'm going to make a quicker video, I promise, for the second one. Don't forget to comment below, to subscribe if you want to follow this journey. And you might not use it today, but who knows, you might use it 1 year from now, 2 years from now, or you have a relative that is struggling and you say, hey, Gerardo, hey, cousin or whatever, I saved this channel. I think this can work for you. and you have it. Otherwise, how many times you see a video that, oh, I love this video, or this is so informative, but I forgot where it is. So subscribe in case you need it in the future. Okay, guys, done with this first phase. Okay, time for the third meal of today. So what we're going to do now, it's we're going to have about 4 liquid ounces of carrot and celery. For that, let's take one of these celeries that we bought this morning. For 4 ounces, probably it's going to be 2 of these. And let's start with 1 carrot. And the reason of that is because the glycemic index is a little bit high on the carrots. So we are going to be a little conservative on that. And let's disinfect all of these. Sometimes organic actually means they're dirtier than you imagine, because they try to put as pristine as possible its natural state. Okay, so I'm not going to peel the carrot as sometimes I do. That's okay. There are other things I need to worry about. So now let's assemble our mixer. Remember that the juices we're going to do mostly this time is vegetables, and vegetables, leaves. We are not going to do a lot of fruits. So that's it. Okay, let's not make the same mistake again. That's what the juice is coming out. Okay, so now we are going to chop this to help the user a little bit. Now let's juice. Let's start with the carrot. It's great how the these hard vegetables are crushed with these cold press users without any friction. So, and the other reason why we're using it is not kind of a smoothie, it's because we our digestive system is not ready for processed fiber. So that's the reason why. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dilute this. The magic shake. And more complex vegetables. Oh my god. The flavor of the carrot is there, but not too much. Most of the flavor is the celery, and that's okay. So I want to do this for probably, I'm actually a little shifted in my schedule because I've been very busy editing the video for today, but so I expect this to last probably half an hour or so. And then just to keep track on the schedule, because the next one is at 3 p.m. and it's already 2:14. I'll try to make the next juice sooner rather than later. But nonetheless, you have to keep this drinking of this juice slow. And let's see you guys in a little bit. Okay, last meal of the day 1. Dr. Goldhamer has, again, 5 different phases of breaking the fast. The first phase is juices only. And tomorrow is going to be also phase 1. juices, but they're going to be different fruits or vegetables. Uh, this last one is going to be apple juice, and you can do apple juice or beet juice, but I want to leave the beet for tomorrow. I think it's a little bit more complex, the beet, for my stomach, and I'll try to keep it simple for today. So we have here our purified water with added minerals, and we're going to, I really crave apples since a long time ago. Um, and here the auger struggling a little bit, but that's the way it works. And we're going to dilute it with water. All right, so that's it. So now we're going to fill our water with juice, and this is going to be the last meal. There is optional another meal, which is vegetable broth, but I'm not going to go for that. My stomach is great. I don't want to risk it, so that's going to be my last meal. And so this is how I'm breaking the fast. I am following the very strict protocol from Dr. Goldhamer. If you get into extended fast like I did, I highly recommend you do not eat alone. You have to go to your medical doctor, preferable functional medicine doctor, because not everybody is actually candidate for fasting. Like, for instance, people who are under medications, or they can get into hyperglycemia or things like that. So the main protocol that I'm going to be posting is the feeding part. Is the last is the maintenance part. What I'm doing here for my 21 days fast is just my own journey. But what I'm going to be making the majority of the videos is just nutrition, exercise. This is just showing you how I did it in case any other person there is doing it. But again, do it with medical supervision. Now, finally, for today, I want to thank a lot of people, including friends, my girlfriend's family, and my girlfriend especially, for giving me the strength to do this. And subscribe. Again, you never know if you might be able to use this knowledge for you or for somebody else in the future. And I'll keep you guys posted. I have been preparing a video for explaining what the hybrid protocol is. Honestly, I've been filming a lot today for this, so I think I'm going to be a little delay on that. But that's going to be what the protocol means. And I'll try to do very shorter versions of day 2, 3, 4, and 5 of my breaking the fast. I spent a lot of time in this video because the other videos were shorts, and honestly, I didn't have time to explain pretty much anything. So that's why this video was longer. But trust me, the next ones are going to be probably even less than a minute, or probably more than that. But just showing, this is meal 1, this is meal 2, this is meal 3, and that's it. And how I'm feeling. So, okay, guys. Well, this is everything for day 1, and see you next video.